Doritos. Doritos. But
Doritos.
Dory, like the
fish from
Dory.
the popular picture.
Cut!
I thought we discussed Finston Church Gills.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. Sure. Hey, I'm Nick.
And I'm Miles.
And this is Chris, the screenplay fish, aka today, Finston Churchill. You're English.
I am.
You can appreciate that joke.
Got a bit of me in there. Yeah, V for victory, right? Nah, it really means up your bottom. This is just an insult we invented to insult the French with.
You don't frighten us, English pig dogs!
Named by Fogarty. If you want to name that fish, use the hashtag in the comments, name that fish. But we're not here to talk about up your bottoms or naming fish. We're here today. Far Cry 5, a game that we're both playing. Aww. Good despite itself.
It is!
It is! I'm so pleasantly surprised, even though I actually have a bunch of issues with the game. I'm not particularly happy with the story.
No.
And
Dude.
It's not because I want to push some dumb liberal agenda. It's because I just feel like it tries to be inoffensive to everyone, and therefore it is ineffective in every possible way.
Yeah.
When it had a chance to tell a really great story.
Even
like a really, really great story.
I know they were really pushing this super interesting story about like a militant theocracy taking control of somewhere in the US,
Yeah.
Montana. And that is super cool. And then when you get into the game, you're like, this is even cooler than I could have ever imagined. The opening cutscene where you meet the militant nutcases for
Yeah,
the
it's pretty
first time,
messed
you're like,
up.
this is so cool. The second that cutscene finishes, all of the stuff that made this story mildly interesting go out the window in favor of like the most like stupidly predictable video game character tropes you've ever seen.
And very cliched approach to the idea of people in a cult or religious zealots.
I
thing,
wanted
yeah.
this to be like a very hard-hitting, funny satire about like how nuts people can be.
Yeah.
And instead, it's like a crap Bond film. Actually really enjoying it despite its many shortcomings.
So, as someone who does not cry foul,
Yep.
what were you expecting, and how has it lived up to or denied those expectations?
I've never dived into Far Cry before, and everything I've been told about it was that the gameplay is really clunky, shooting sucks. It's kind of like an arcade game that, yeah, it's open world and there's tons of cool stuff to do, and it just feels like, for me, this game, it drives the game like, there's a way to create an open world universe with lots of objectives and lots of things to do, and this is like the most base entry-level template into how to handle an open world game. So like every other open world game in the world has used this template and then put a spin on it to make it way more interesting to begin with, and it just feels kind of like formulaic to me. But then again, it's the 5th game in a franchise.
You said something to me yesterday, which I thought was interesting. You said that the thing about this is that every single thing in this video game is placed there purely to be something that you interact with and do.
Yeah.
That outside of that, there is no world building, and there's no sort of like the sense that this is here purely because this is what the world is like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you play games like GTA or The Witcher or, you know, even any game that's got NPCs. NPCs are typically things that either provide you with quests or provide you with some sort of like a shop system, or they're literally just there to provide ambience, like in the Assassin's Creed
Just
games.
hammering at an anvil.
Yeah, some
or-
guy's like, oh no, I've got the plague in The Witcher or whatever. Like, and those characters do give you a real sense of the world happening around you. Like in GTA, there's people hitting each other in cars, and there's people punching each other, and there's a guy reading a newspaper, whatever. In Far Cry 5, they don't seem to do that. Every single time I see a vehicle go past, that vehicle can be captured or destroyed to, you know, provide me another little bonus in my bar of like capturing this area, or like rescuing a civilian, which gives me a little bit more bonus in my bar to capturing this area. Or killing an animal, which gives me a little bit more bonus in a bar that is just basically like getting money in your wallet to do things that add more bonus in the bar to capturing an area. Everything has a purpose in the game, and I don't like that.
Yeah,
I
that's interesting.
want to escape into a cool world where shit's going down, there's a crazy cult and people getting oppressed and whatnot, but in the end it's like, you're very much in a video game.
Yeah, no, I hadn't really thought about that. I thought that was an interesting point. See, I have played, I think all the Far Cry's except for one.
You've cried Far quite a bit then.
Multiple times. And there is a lot about this game that is classic Far Cry. But my biggest problem with this, before I get to the things that I enjoy, is, like you were saying, the idea that everything here has a purpose. I'm not finding the pieces of this world are not interacting with the other pieces of this world to create fun stories. That all of the fun that's happening is, I guess, of my own making. That, but oftentimes in my favorite kinds of open worlds, you do something that, like you say, start a fire, and then this, like, cougar runs out because it gets scared, and then it runs in front of a car which stops, and then those guys hop out, and then they come to you and they catch on fire, and then suddenly like everything's on fire. There's cougars that are attacking you. Like, it doesn't have this thing where there's a knock-on effect. I'm finding that it's all quite siloed, and that's kind of disappointing.
I've seen the same thing. In my very, very first vehicle moment in the game, you get given a quad bike, or you might not get given a quad bike because it's a crazy open world game and there's different ways to do this. But I got given a quad bike, and basically the first thing I did was I got it and I was like, I'm gonna go to my next objective. Rolled down the road, and within a few seconds there were like 7 vehicles, all piled in, doing stuff right in front of me, and that was only because I was there. And it didn't feel, again, like going back to your point that like the knock-on effect, this sort of like domino ripple effect that you have in a big open world environment, I could tell because of render distances and whatnot that shit was going down here because I was there.
Because you were around.
Specifically, and it really felt like that. And it was like, it was basically like a dodgy car pileup because like one guy, like a big truck containing gas for the cult or whatever they're called, the Brotherhood or the Templars, I don't know what the fuck they're called in this game, that had pulled up, and then like someone else had crashed into it. It was a kind of awkward collision of vehicles, and that was a tiny little bubble that was going down, and then a bear came in, and all this happened too quickly, and I was like, you know what guys, I think you need to just calm down. You're trying to impress me too hard here, Far Cry 5. Just like take a big step back, let's let this world breathe, and did not do that. It felt fucking super forced.
But I am, despite this stuff, I'm actually quite enjoying my time with the game.
Me too.
And I'm finding that even though, yeah, the shooting is not great, it has a weight that I don't enjoy. It reminds me of Killzone shooting. Did you ever play Killzone?
I did play. I played all the Killzones.
Yeah, yeah. It has a bit of a weight to it that doesn't feel particularly balanced. I think that
it's almost like there's no gravity.
Yeah.
But you still have like wild recoil.
Right, okay,
like,
yeah.
There's no weight behind bullet shots. You can't really tell when you've hit someone, even without hit markers.
Yes,
yeah.
that's absolutely
There's not a lot of tactile feedback
The feedback stuff there is not, that's totally it. And the gun variety is not particularly interesting because obviously it needs to be in real life. But I think a lot of my enjoyment is coming from the fact that this is a single-player game that is has a lot of things for me to do, and that most of my life over the last few years has been playing multiplayer live service games, and that there's something to be said for losing yourself in a world that isn't just like a linear story, and also isn't like surrounded by people who are better at a game than you.
Yeah, I've reached a stage now in my life as a gamer where I've lost it.
It's true. I can vouch for that.
I used to be real good at stuff. I've got a Wikipedia page.
Do you?
No, it's a Halopedia page.
Okay, so not a thing.
No, I've got a Halopedia page. I used to be good at games. But now I just stink. I just suck. Not even Sea of Thieves, a game that plays its fucking self, could return me to any kind of form of glory. Aww. So, having, as you said, this beautiful big open world space with all these like just gormless AI characters running around being mowed down by me, I'm like, you know what, this is a really nice reprieve from getting dicked on in Fortnite. Like, such a nice...
I think
God.
I think that Far Cry is the game we need right now.
Yeah.
That, like, and by we, I mean you and I. Like, we need...
I know you're out there. You know what we're talking about as well. You know when you've taken one too many hits to the chin and you're like, it's not as strong as it used to be, is it?
Yeah, when you have not tasted a victory royale in a while, then that's like, it's time for you to go here and actually accomplish something in a video game, which is very enjoyable. Are you guys playing Far Cry 5? Let us know. Some of you have. It's time for your screenSAY. Our first screenSAY came in from Nico Deeve, who says, I'm surprised myself by not going bow 24/7 like the other Far Cries. Are you using the bow?
Oh, the bow is so cool!
Yeah, I haven't really used
it. I found the bow in the first bunker and I was like, fucking Legolas, and it was so good. Yeah. That was the most fun I've had in the game so far. I only had like 5 bows, but I made them all count.
Feels like there's much more interaction with enemies in the world than the last one, always bumping into something to blow up or shoot. And I think that's to your point. They're always
forced,
there.
Man.
They're always there. You feels forced. Can you be happy? Because you were not happy with the amount of content in Sea Thieves, as was I. But you are now going, there's too much content in this game. They are giving me too many interactions with things.
True. Yes, you've got an interesting point there, Nick, and I can certainly be
That you
happy.
can't be pleased.
No, I can be pleased, I can. I'm a man of simple needs. I just need not too much, not too little, I just need the fucking very best.
That's the definition of not simple.
I'm an easy man, please.
Our next screen came in from Constant Respawn, who says, I haven't played the last few Far Cry titles. I'm enjoying Far Cry 5, really enjoying Far Cry 5. Good narrative, good voice acting, and creepy cult leaders. So we agree with the good voice acting.
Yeah, the guy with the flamethrower.
Yep. Oh, you don't like him?
No, he's funny.
Yeah, he's a very funny boy.
boy.
And then finally, Scott Williams, aka Uncle Scothy. That's creepy. Says, good fun. A lot to do, and the fact that a lot of weapons / nades, etc. are open from the start gives you too many options, in my opinion. After 3 hours, I'll give it 53 out of 64.
I think that's a fantastic.
You think
metric.
that's not a confusing way to score a video game?
No, because I'm seeing it like a glass of water.
Yep.
And if a full glass is 100, he's like, well, that's a sensible amount of liquid.
All right, that's it for screenSAY. Thanks very much for hanging out. Are you guys playing Far Cry 5? Let us know what you think in the comments. And while you're there, name that fish with a British joke. Use the hashtag name that fish. We're out. Finish your story, we could throw to the end card with it.
I was gonna do.
We will fight them on the beaches. We will quad bike in the mountains.
Winston Churchill.
I thought you were being Chris.
Who's Davros? Who's Davros?
Davros.
Who the fuck is Davros?
Exterminate. If you like the video, be sure to push the like button and subscribe.
And if you like other videos, then there's one there and there's one there. I mean, Clement Attlee.
The fish name was Winston Churchill. Can't relate it.
He was also a prime minister. I've seen The Crown.